Go.
Hello all and welcome to the latest Craftmania Sunday Showcase. Today I'm going to share with you one of my very favourite techniques. We're going to be using a product today which is basically A4 sheets of double-sided tape. So exactly the same as what you're getting on the reels for your ordinary card making, but this is left as an A4 sheet. Now in the packs here you're going to receive 5 sheets of that. They normally retail for $3.99, but as part of this week's Sunday Showcase they're only going to be $2.99. But that of course is only for this week, so if you do want it, don't hesitate to get in there and get it held. Now the actual product itself literally is double-sided tape sandwiched between 2 sheets. And as you can see on one side of them it's marked out in a really handy grid so you can cut it down. You can of course put this on the back of your card and do die cutting with it and many other techniques. But today we're going to be using it with glitter. So I'm going to introduce you to our little family of glitter pots. I've got loads of these to go through. So these normally retail for £2.49, but this week they're going to be on a Sunday Showcase. They're only £1.66. So if you want to grab a pen and paper at this point, I have a feeling you're going to want quite a few of these colours. So we're going to begin at this end where we have Christmas green. We then have lilac, black sparkle, which is literally like black but with little sprinkles of other colours mixed in with it. We then have just standard black, orange, red, bright green, antique green and coral. And then if we jump over to this side we have iridescent, magenta, silver, royal blue, gold, purple, yellow, brown, ice blue, dark ice blue, fuchsia and dark fuchsia. Now with all of them colours to choose from, the things I'm going to show you, you're going to have endless options. And at £1.66 they're a proper little bargain. They're a really nice ultra fine glitter, so you could use these for loads of different techniques as well, including the one I'm about to show you. So I've taken one of our sheets of double-sided, I've cut it down to about an A5 sheet, and I'm just going to peel off one of the sides of the protective cover. Now from that, all I'm going to do is pop it onto just a scrap of paper or card, working on the theory that once I've done this technique I can then cut it out around it. I'm then going to lift off the cover, same as you would if you were using double-sided tape, and I'm going to bring in a piece of our lace. Now we sell this in store in loads of different colours, but to be honest, for this technique the colour is irrelevant. So we're just going to take this bit of black that I've got cut already. It's only 89p a metre. It's available in store or on the website as well, so if you do want to buy this to do this technique with, you can get it. Just lay it straight over the top of where you've put your tape. I'm going to aim to cover all of mine, but if I don't quite, it's not too much at the end of the world because I can cut it out. Now here's a handy tip. If you've got the sheet that you just peeled off from the glue, you can then pop that over the top and just sort of rub over that, and then it won't stick to the glue, because at the moment you can still stick to that if you wanted to. When you're trying to rub it down, that can be a bit of an inconvenience. So just give it a good rub over the top of it and make sure that that pattern is really nicely stuck down to the glue. We don't want any gaps in it, because if we do then the glitter will just seep under it and you won't get the delicateness of the design. So I'm now just going to pop that on a piece of paper just to use as a backing, and I'm just going to take my glitter and rub that over the top here. Now as I say, if you do actually get in here with this and give it a bit of a rub, it will actually adhere to that glue, your sheets, a lot better. You don't want to send a card and then it all come off in the envelope or at the other end and then they moan at you that they've got covered in glitter for the next couple of weeks. So just give it a good firm rub down. You could of course do this with a bone folder tool if you wish to. All them sheets, you could use them as well if you don't like getting covered in glitter. We're going to tap off the excess now, and hopefully you can start to see that we have, get rid of that. See, I work such a mess, don't I? Better tidy this up as well, as we go. So get rid of that. Now you can see here, possibly the black is left there and the glitter is underneath it. So we're just going to peel this off now. Now viewers at home, I'd recommend removing any glitters from around the edge, because you don't want them going on your design at this point and spoiling it. But hopefully you can now see that we have our design done in the blue, and then where the lace was is all left in white. Now that's all still covered in glue, so that's where we're going to come in with another colour of glitter. So this time we're going to go for silver. I'm just going to sparkle that over the top of there, spread it over, get a nice silver sparkle going on. Again, if you want to just give it a bit of a rub, you're just going to be pushing that further into that double-sided so it stays there nice and neatly. Doesn't come off anywhere. And then we'll tip this off. Give it a bit of a flick. And you can see there that you've now picked up where all that glue was left is now covered in silver to give you that two-tone effect. Now, wasn't that quick and easy to do, but it looks lovely, doesn't it? And of course you could use any laces, any nets for this, so if you want bigger designs, bolder designs, thinner designs, you can. I'll show you another one I've done in a little while with another design as well. But I wanted to show you how you could use this and incorporate it into a card. So this is a card that we did in our lessons many moons ago using this technique. And all we've done is literally stuck it onto the edge of the card as a border and then decorated the rest of the card around it. The big butterfly that's on here is one of the dies that we currently stock. That's this butterfly here, which is available in store for only $7.99, and of course is on the website as well if you do wish to purchase it that way. Now, as I say, the bit I've just showed you, you can do this in many different colours. So I've got a few here that I've done in other colourways just to give you a few ideas. So this is using the dark ice and the magenta glitter. Then we have the magenta with the light blue to give you a different idea, but other way round, so you're getting less of it. Then we have the gold and the fuchsia. This is the dark fuchsia and the gold. Then we have royal blue and ice blue to give you another option. And then this one I wanted to show you. As I said, you can do this technique using other laces or materials. So this is actually done with tulle, which is like a really thin mesh instead. I don't even know if you're going to see that very well on the camera, but a really, really thin mesh design instead. This one again is available in loads of different colours, but it's only 39p a metre. And this time it's possibly a little bit harder for the camera to pick up on this, but I've gone over first time using the silver glitter. I've then taken off the material and put the purple one over the top of it, and it's quite fine, but it's well sort of spread out fine, so it gives you quite a nice two-tone effect for a background, which you may well quite like. Just a different idea with it, but of course, as I say, you could use any different materials that have got holes in them for different effects like that. So moving on, I want to show you something else. When I was researching to do this video, I wanted to come up with a different technique to show you. So if you have been to the lesson and you've seen it done with the materials, I wanted to show you something slightly different. And I come up with this, one of the ideas I found, which is actually using stencils. So we're going to use a different stencil for our next one. So I've just taken my material, my double-sided tape, I've already cut it out into a square, I've stuck it down, and I'm just going to remove the top level off of that. Now, because of this is a plastic stencil, we don't actually want it to stick too permanently to our double-sided tape, and we certainly don't want to damage it when we come to remove it. So there is a bit of a hint to this and a little bit of a tip. If you take a Versamark ink pad and you just sponge it all the way across here, it will just basically lubricate the stencil. So although it will stick and it will stay in place for the technique while we do it, it won't actually damage the stencil when you want to remove it. Now, I'm sure there's other products you could use to do this with, but in my experiments I found this to be one of the best ones. But I'm sure if you've got like an emboss ink pad or something along them lines, I'm sure it'd give you a same sort of similar idea. But once you've gone over the top of it, just pop it down onto the tape the same way up as you have. And we're going to go for a different colour scheme this time. I'm going to firm that down again. Because we're on a stencil, we don't stick quite so much to the middle of it because it's a bit thicker than the lace we were using a little while ago. So you can sort of rub over that a bit better. Then we're going to bring in another sheet of paper. And this time, should we go for a red glitter instead? So, oh, there's a little bump there. We don't want any bumps. Again, if you've got a bump, the glitter can get underneath it and it won't take to the design quite so well. So try to get out any bumps that you can. Again, we'll just sort of sprinkle this on a little bit, and then we're going to go in and rub it over the top. Take that in there. Now, I'm sure so many of you are already thinking how you could incorporate this into your Christmas ideas. You've got some of the Christmas stamps from the showcase a couple of weeks ago. What a lovely backing to use with them with this. Or you could, of course, use some of the Christmas dies on one of the previous showcases. There's so many different showcase elements that you could incorporate this technique with to get even more value and use and ideas out of the ones you've already got. So again, we're just going to try and take off the excess from around that. I'll tip this back into the pot so I try and stay somewhere tidy, although I'm not very good at that bit. And then we're going to remove the stencil from the top. Now again, when you do this, it's going to have left all of that area around here. Now my tape's a little bit bigger than my stencil, so I've got a bit of a border, but that's not a problem because we could just cut that off afterwards. So that's your first look at it as you see it there. And then should we take, oh I was going to go for gold, so we'll do a bit of gold with this. And we'll sprinkle that over the top. Again, you could be a little bit more exact with this if you were doing it at home. I'll just sprinkle that over the top of this. And let's just take that out that way a bit. Tip that down there. And I won't bother picking it up and redoing it because you're going to get the gist from the half I've done. So then that's the difference. Can you see that? How beautiful that is? And then if you want to, of course, we could pick this up, do the other half, but I won't bore you with doing that. You've got the idea, hopefully, with this. And now I can show you a few that I've done as well, so give you a different idea. So the stencil I was using for that one actually started its life as a 12 by 12 stencil. So by that I mean that all 4 of these come joined together. And these are the different designs you're going to see used throughout today's sample cards for the next set I'm going to show you. So this stencil itself, to get all 4 on one, is only £9.99. So it's the equivalent of sort of £2.50 a square really. And I've got quite a few of those to show you. So we'll start off showing you the one that I'm actually on about. This is how it begins with. So you've got these really lovely backgrounds, you've got that really lovely sort of medallion I've just shown you, then these mini medallions down here as well if you wanted to. You can of course keep it as a 12 by 12 stencil, I just found it a bit easier to trim it so I could just use it for individual projects. And at £2.50 a square as such, a proper little bargain. We then have this design as well, which I love this really damask design up here. I think this would work really well, and if you wanted to do a sort of summery glitter version, then this sort of diamond daisy one down here is really lovely as well. Again, only £9.99. Now this one is even flasher because it's 6 designs, and on here you're getting sort of that diamond daisy I just showed you and that damask one. So if you're thinking you're going to do smaller projects, this might be the one for you. So again, only £9.99, but this time 6 different designs. Now of course you don't have to use these just for this technique, you could be using these with texture pastes, or you could use them with glitter paste, or anything along them lines. Then we have another 4-1. This time we've got that really nice sunburst, the chevrons, the scallops. So again, only sort of £2.50 each square. And then lastly, we have a Christmas version. So with this one, you've got a nice holly square, Christmas tree, wording and snow. But again, works at £2.50 a square, so a proper little steal. So let's show you a couple of the cards I've made with these as well. We'll tuck that out of the way and we'll bring you to this one. So this is using that medallion I just showed you, but this time I've gone for purple and silver glitter. I've also added a few rhinestones to the top of it just to give it a bit more texture really. And then the flowers down the front here, I wanted to darken it down a bit, hence the black ribbon and the black flowers. And I didn't want to cover up too much of the design because I wanted you to see how beautiful and delicate the design is itself. The die I've used for that is this set of flowers. It's only £8.99 and you're going to get all of your flower heads, even the little swirls and the leaves in that set. So that's a proper little bargain as well. And you could create that card with that set. Moving on, we'll show you another one from that same stencil. Now that's that other big background that you see on here. This time I've gone for the light purple, what did we call that one? Sorry, dark fuchsia there, glitter. And I've used the ice blue glitter for this one, and then around it we've decorated it with a couple of different dyes. So we have our corner and border piece. I've only obviously used the corner, but that one's only £8.99. And then we had this butterfly on a couple of weeks ago. This one's our £5.99 butterfly, but it just looks really lovely on this one, doesn't it? The black just sets off the colours and doesn't steal from the glitter, does it? So it's quite a nice sort of colour to team with the sparkles. And then this one, I don't know if any of you have met Sophie, but this is her favourite. It's all rather bright, but nice for a young girl if you've got a birthday coming up. So this is that other pattern, and this time we've gone for the fuchsia and the yellow, just to give you a different idea. The colours I wouldn't normally use and certainly not put together, but I hope you agree it actually works quite well. And this is quite a nice way of showing you how you can reverse the patterns but use the colours in opposite ways, if that makes sense. So with this one I started off by putting on the fuchsia, took off the stencil and put on the yellow. With that one I started by putting on the yellow, took it off and filled in the gap with fuchsia. So just a different way of doing it. But of course you could use that with these templates and techniques with any of the colours I've shown you today. One last thing I wanted to show you as well is this is just a picture, this is just a decoupage sheet that I've done, just a square that's been cut out before all the layering's been done on top of it. But I wanted to show you how you could get a really nice snowy effect using the double-sided sheets. So all I've done is popped that over the top of it, the double-sided sheet, and sprinkled on just iridescent glitter, and it gives you that sort of snowy texture to it. So if you are a Christmas decoupage fan, another use for them double-sided sheets. So just to recap for today's offers, you can purchase the sheets, which I've misplaced, but you know what they are, you've seen them. You get 5 sheets of those, should be $3.99, but they're only $2.99 for this week only. And then all of the different colours of glitter, which should be $2.49 a pot, are only £1.66. Now both offers end at 5 PM on Saturday the 20th of May 2017. So please don't miss out. If you do want them, you can of course hold your items on our Facebook page, you can hold them in the comments to our YouTube video, or you can pop onto our website, which you can find the link in the comments, and you can order all of these bits that I've shown you today, including the dyes and the different fabrics, directly from us online. Of course, with that one, you can receive free postage if you spend over £35, or if your order is less than £35, we have a flat rate of just £2.75. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Look forward to seeing you all next week when we have another new idea for you. Bye for now.